Good morning. So today me and my partner are going to be discussing why abortion should be limited to the first trimester. So we have 3 sub-claims to back up our main claim, which are abortion is murder, medical risks are higher after the first trimester, and costs are higher after the first trimester. As stated by the Archidiocese of Baltimore in January 2019, the science of embryology states that from the moment of conception, a human being is formed. The DNA it has is not only human DNA, but the DNA of an individual distinct from that of either parent. In forensic criminology, DNA is used to distinguish one person from another. So the DNA of an embryo indicates that the embryo is a person. So from the moment of conception, the embryo is now its own individual. It's now its own individual, and it's a developing human being. So first, it is necessary to define the term taking an innocent human life. What can make this issue difficult and confusing is that society accepts various definitions of the word murder. Merriam-Webster's dictionary defines murder as the unlawful killing of another human being with malice aforethought. In addition, most legal definitions of the word are similar in nature, with varying degrees, which are subdivided into first and second degree murder. This is where some confusion arises, as stated by TrueLife.org. It should be noted that under a legal definition of murder, legal abortion would not fit the requirements. In other words, under the law of man instituted by civil government, abortion is not unlawful and would not be defined as murder. However, it should be noted that the death of an unborn child can be legally counted as murder if there is premeditation, malice involved, and done without legal authority. Now that we know the true definition of murder, let's look at the term abortion. A simple dictionary definition would be a medical procedure used to end the pregnancy and cause the death of a fetus. However, other nuances of the term would include both induced and spontaneous expulsion, or miscarriage of the fetus. However, it is very obvious that a miscarriage and an abortion are 2 very separate and opposite terms, though in both cases a fetus dies and one is voluntary and the other is not. This makes all the difference in the world. If a woman has a miscarriage, neither she nor anyone else has done anything intentionally to end the life of her child. On the other hand, the medical procedure of abortion to end the life of the child is deliberate. Now let's discuss the risks. According to Elizabeth Johnson, a fellow in the Program for Human Rights at the University of Minnesota Medical School, she states most late-term abortions are done for the same social reasons that earlier abortions are done. Late-term abortions are much more dangerous for the mother than giving birth. Late-term abortions involve much higher risk of death from the abortion procedure itself, as well as higher risk of perforating the womb, massive bleeding, and damage to the womb. Late-term abortions are only safe for the abortionist, not for the mother or the child. If a baby has died in the womb, the procedure is not an abortion. The purpose of an abortion is to kill the unborn child to ensure that the child is born dead. Stated by Dr. Donna Harrison, MD, Executive Director and American Associate of Pro-Life Obstetricians and Gynecologists. So covering some more side effects and risks of abortion includes cramping between the 3rd and 5th days following the procedure, nausea, breast soreness, light to heavy bleeding for 2 to 4 weeks, clots that can be as large as a lemon, and low-grade fever. Now, some risks and complications that can take place. There can be an allergic reaction to medications, laceration or perforations of the uterus, excessive bleeding, blood clots larger than a lemon, and severe cramping and pain. Now, talking about the costs, during the first trimester, prenatal vitamins cost about $10 to $20 per bottle. And then that adds on to ultrasound screenings, which can average of $307, and then copays for each doctor's visit, which range from $30 to $50 a visit, as stated by Sarah McFarland from Parasol.com. And then on top of the first trimester costs, you have the second trimester costs, which are keeping up with the monthly prenatal visits, so that's $30 to $50 per visit, glucose screenings, which is approximately $100 that you have around week 24 to 28 of pregnancy, and also keeping up with the ultrasounds, which the main ultrasound occurs around 16 to 20 weeks. And then on top of the first and second trimester costs, you have the third trimester costs, which are monthly checkups every 2 weeks from weeks 28 to 36 and weekly until labor. and also birthing classes, which there varies by mother, but these classes can cost $50 to $200 each. So in the end, as stated by T. Fisher from Clear Health Costs, she states that in the end, abortion cost primarily hinges on the following factors: the duration of pregnancy, insurance, Medicaid, or other funding that you may have, and where you live. A Los Angeles Planned Parenthood office quoted them 3 prices: $648 for surgical abortions through 11.6 weeks of pregnancy, and then later $800 at 12.1 to 15.6 weeks of pregnancy, over $1,000 at 16 to 17.6 weeks, $1,700 at 18 to 19 weeks, and $2,000 and above the rest of the pregnancy. Thank you.